So Kanye West, who I only talk about on Friday, pretty much. And I'm not doing a deep dive. I just want to share this with you, that he shared a video of himself peeing on a Grammy Award as he declared all musicians will be free. And, of course, he's been on. This is the one thing I agree with him about. These contracts, he's come after Universal, Sony, everyone. And I don't know if Kanye is the one that's going to do it. He's labeled himself the Nat Turner. He's going to free all of these Negroes from bondage at these record labels. He said, trust me, I won't stop. He said, getting his masters back from Universal. And he also uploaded screenshots of his Universal Records contract, allegedly. He said all the musicians will be free. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see. He also tweeted today that he is the head. He said, I am the head of Adidas, and I will bring Adidas and Puma back together and bring me and Jay back together. Did he talk to Jay? All right. All Puma's designs are embarrassingly trash. This is a man that has a whole slave wear. This is a man that has $300 flip-flops and sneakers that, are you kidding me? All right. He said, I will personally design Puma and Adidas and make everything okay. No, you won't. No, you won't. You charge $50 for a pair of socks, and your flip-flops look like I can't even tell you what they look like because I don't even have words for this. This is just okay. Thank you. Lamont, your thoughts.
So like Trump said about Ghislaine Maxwell, I wish Kanye well. I wish him the best. That's really all I can say at this moment. I wish him the best. He's waking up a sleeping beast, and it's not going to end well. I'll just say that.
Who's the sleeping beast? Who's the sleeping beast that he's waking?
The recording industry.
Huh. Okay. Well, so let's walk down this path because I actually agree with him on this. A broken clock twice a day.
Okay.
All right, let's walk down. How do you think this is going to end? Okay, so he's saying he wants his masters back. Prince put slave on his face and was a symbol for a long time because of his masters that he wanted back, which he did get back, by the way.
Did he?
Did he get his masters back? Hold on. Or he produced a whole lot of music that he never gave to them. Let me get my facts straight on this. Thank you for that. Did Prince? This is how you find out information. Did Prince get his masters back, even though it's bad grammar? Let's get back his masters. You shouldn't put anything at that. Okay. He fought the labels for ownership, Warner Brothers, part of the reconciliation. Oh, so he did. They came to reconciliation in 2014. He joined with the label and with the move towards ownership of his old masters. Yes. So, yes, the masters were reverted back to Prince 35 years after release upon. Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, he did. He did. It took 35 years, and then he died.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Okay. Yep. So he didn't get him back.
Okay. He got him back posthumously? Or did he get him back the week before he died?
So from what I'm reading here, he got him back in 2014 in a landmark deal with Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. He gained his whole catalog back. And then the estate, after he passed away,
gave it back.
Mm-hmm. Because they were not up.
It's Friday. I want to do some conspiracy theories on Friday. Hold on. Let's go down this. Let's go down this path, Lamont. Let's go. So, according to the reports, he got his masters back, and then shortly thereafter, which no one knew he was sick or on drugs, he dies. Prince is dead.
2 years later,
and then his estate gives it right back. Okay. Go ahead, Lamont. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Smith. Could you tell us the value of it once it went back? Do you know the value?
I can look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, look into
it. That'd be a curious.
Make sure. Wait, and hold on. When you look into it, get more than one source because this is how we fact check, and make sure it's not on Reddit or YouTube. Okay. All right, Lamont. So your thoughts about this?
Question for you, Karen. What happened to Michael Jackson's catalog, which also included the Beatles?
Okay. The Beatles. Yes, it did.
Paul McCartney got them back, by the way.
Paul McCartney got it. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, you saying something. Okay, so when you say it's not going to end well, you mean really it's not going to end well. Because I'm like, what can they do?
Let me say the views expressed by myself. I don't know how it's going to end.
All right, so hold on, Smith. Play it because we're about to put some views that I might agree with, but we're going to cover ourselves.
The views expressed by the show's producers and its guests are not necessarily those of Karen Hunter or SiriusXM.
I saw the best meme yesterday, and it was saying how Kanye talking about the music industry is slavery, but he's also the same one that said slavery was a choice. So I mean, hey, how it's kind of hard to root for you. You got into it. Like people, we've known, most of us on the outside, we've known that the music industry has been some kind of way. Like Prince spoke on it for years. Michael Jackson spoke on it for years. Other people spoke on it for years. So this is not, he's just trying to rally. He's trying to get support. And he'll get it. But I don't know if he'll get his masters back. He'll get support.
Nas, because some people are like, oh, you have rappers on. I was the grand dame of hip hop. Let me just say, from a 90s hip hop standpoint, there was very few stories that were written. Like that was my lane for the 90s. All hip hop, right? For the New York Daily News. So it's interesting now. It's like, oh, you're just, we've been doing this. As Chuck D said this week, most of the books from LL to Queen to Mason Beth, most of those hip hop books, I made it possible with the success, because that's how publishing works. If books sell, then they go and get more of those, like Harry Potter. Nobody's messing with wizards, and then Harry Potter sold, and then you got all kind of wizards. Anyway, Nas revealed that Prince would not record with him because he did not own his masters. He wanted to work with him, and he said, yo, look, man, let's do this. We got to do this song. But he blew my up because he was like, I'm far from it because I owe this label like 4 or 5 albums. And so he was like, damn, all right. And then he dropped the jewel. He helped me see the future. And he was like, when you own your masters, give me a ring. When you own your masters, give me a ring. I don't think that ever happened because Prince did not live long enough for. This is something.
So
and Prince. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, getting an exact number on his music, I don't think there is one. His estate was worth somewhere between $150 to $300 million. Now there's real estate in there too. It's not just music. His music has sold nearly 20 million units. Historically, so that's one way you can base the value off of it. But
one could, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Well, his estate, 300 million. Some say 431 million. I don't know where to get that exact number. No, that's a wrong number. Okay, 300 million is what I'm seeing a lot. 300 million. But I would say that Prince's catalog is probably worth billions.
Easily.
You know what's sad? Can I just say this? As somebody with no children, when you leave something to people who didn't have to work for it, they are really quick to sell it cheap because it doesn't have value to them because they can't do it. They don't understand it. And a lot of y'all are working for children and leaving. And I think about, again, John Johnson. I can't think about him enough. A man that did everything to build a legacy for black people in media, and handed it over to somebody that didn't understand it. And you want your progeny, your legacy to continue through your bloodline. But the value of what you do, shouldn't be handed over to people who didn't have to work for it, didn't understand it, and are so easy to sell it out because what's $100 million? Well, you want $100 million? Here, like I'm going to sell this for $100 million when it's worth $1 billion. So $100 million when something that you have is worth $1 billion is selling out. And we can't understand that, and it's tough to tell somebody, don't take $100 million, don't take that money. It's that argument that Charlemagne and Joe Budden is having. But I get it as a person that sits on the other side of it. What are you worth? And many of us don't value ourselves enough. 866-801-8255. And we don't demand enough. So as a result, we allow other people to devalue everybody. When you take that little bit of money up front, that little check, you now have set the price for everybody. You set the price for everybody because they're not going to pay more. They're not going to pay more to the next guy, even if they demand it and are worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy what we do.
But it's tricky though because you gotta put yourself in the shoes of both sides of that argument because on one side you got the person that I want to eat. I haven't eaten, and I'm watching everybody eat. So as soon as you hand me the menu or bring a plate to the table, where's my fork? You know what I mean? But then you have the other people who like, yo, there's restaurants like this all over town. Hold off. You gonna eat. You know what I mean? So it really comes down to personality. even with the the Joe Budden Charlemagne thing, I think it's very fascinating to see their viewpoints play out in public. You know what I mean? Because they're speaking from two totally different perspectives, but two very similar personalities playing in the same arena.
This is how I see it. And listen, I can see both sides of it and have very rarely been on the other side, because very rarely do I get offered a check because they know that I'm going to go sew it back in. I'm going to go make 10 more of these, right? So they know that money in my hands is going to be a problem, right? So I always have to build from scratch. I've always had to build from scratch. And I get that. And the one time I got money from Wall Street at 20-something, I didn't know what to do with it. So I was stupid, right? But I also see the difference between Joe Budden and Charlemagne is one person has talent and the other person's talent is fame. Now, yeah. And how long can fame be a talent?
Which is which?
I don't know. 866-801-8255. One person can create from whole cloth things and has done whole cloth from things and can go and can do different things with the thing that they have that's a talent. And the other person's talent is fame. Now, fame became capital. Fame became capital. Paris Hilton has a documentary out. The Kardashians, famous for being famous. Fame became a capital that you can leverage. Right. But is it value? Like, what's the value of it? Is it food, clothing, shelter? Is it something that can be be around long after you're dead and gone? Like we commemorate today the death of Jimi Hendrix, which we'll play something from him probably coming back from the break. Somebody, again, it's 50 plus years, this is 1968, it's probably longer than that. I don't do math really well in my head. Okay, 50 to carry the 52 years since he's dead, and we still play that national anthem. There's still something in the universe that he put out, and it can't just be a clip from an interview that you did where somebody said, put some respect on my name, or Drake, what is the talent in having me? I don't know. I said it. I said it. Let's have an argument about it. But this is how I see.
I got to push back on that.
Push back. But it's the difference between, as a comedian, people who become Insta famous on Instagram because they've been able to capitalize off of this 1 minute and do something that's funny, but can't get on a stage and do a set.
But there's still a talent. It's subjective.
I don't know.
It's subjective and it's relevant. I think that between those two people that we're talking about, they both have talent. One of them is fine with working for someone inside of a machine. The other one is fine with being the machine and not working for anybody.
But the other one can be a machine because he's talented. The person who is within a machine couldn't do that outside of the machine, because that person that has done it on his own did it on his own through his talent, and he built a foundation. And take the check because you can't do the other thing. You don't have the muscle for it. You don't have the tertiary muscles for doing what that dude is doing because you haven't built and developed. You're taking a check because you don't have many options. What do you do outside of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, the other guy can tour, he can produce, he's going to always eat. You understand? There's a short window for people who aren't talented. So let me just say, as somebody who is infinitely talented, like I don't have to do this. I can write, I can produce, I can, there are things that if I don't do this, I'm still eating. I tomorrow can sit down, cut a book deal, and be paid. Like, I made decisions not to do that. Paid more than what I'm doing here, writing books. I can do that. But I made a decision that this is more important than that dollar, right? Because if it's just about the dollar, man, you know how many writers sit back and with my catalog could just cherry pick and choose?
So why not both? Why not do both?
Because it's work. You got limited bandwidth. Me personally, I don't know. I'm not. No, because because that's not what I do. I don't do children's books, Lamont. Like, it's work. To do 60,000 words for a book is work. Most people aren't willing to do it. And this is the point that I'm making. I'm making a fine point here. That requires work that most people aren't willing to do. It's a lot easier to be famous, to capitalize off of your followers and collect checks off of, because if you watch that Netflix special on the internet, what they're leveraging is what they're leveraging is our engagement. So if you have engagement, that is a commodity. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that that's the talent. The talent's not real talent. It's engagement talent, which has a dollar value. So all of the streaming services, they know from the algorithms how to leverage that and how to make money off of us, as opposed to the old model, which is to make money off of your talent. So I produce something that you like, you buy it, there's the money, right? Now we're literally leveraging clicks and numbers. And that's the capital right there. But it's not talent. I think we have watered down what is talent. And as somebody, again, who sits in a seat where I've worked with super uber talented people, real talented people, I look at this and I say, and I don't even put myself in the category as a talented writer. There are writers that are talented. I am a technician. I know how to produce, and turn around copy, 60,000 words, 40,000 words, or what have you. But there are people who are talented at this. The Tanana Rivdus and the Angie Thomases and the folks that are talented. Tomi Adeyemi and Ta-Nehisi Coates. Talented writers. There are talented writers out there. Isabella Wilkerson. Right. And I know I'm naming, leaving out a lot of names, and it's not, out of disrespect. It's just off the top of my head. Octavia Butler, who's not here anymore, and Toni Morrison. God rest her soul. Talented. I would never put myself in that category is the point. But, there's a difference. There's a difference. And I didn't expect to have this conversation with you, but we just had it. So we're going to go to a...
No, I was just... No. That was because it was... When you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, I just got caught up on their situation. And I was like, wow, this is an interesting, back and forth that they're having in public. But it's relevant. It was super relevant.
It is super relevant. Because, the truth of the matter is the vast majority of us are going to be Charlemagne, not Joe Budden. The vast majority of us are not going to be, because, and it's not even about work ethic or what have you, because Charlemagne works his ass off.
Right.
But there's Michael Jordan, and Allen Iverson, both extremely talented. One worked really hard and the other one didn't want to go to practice. That's talent. I'm saying at the talent level. Then there are people who are journeymen like Robert Horry who just win. They show up, they're on the right box, they get the right rebound.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Robert Horry's not talented. I'm saying that there are people in the league who are not at that level of talent, but who are there and they win rings because they do all the things they're supposed to do. That's Charlemagne. 866-801-8255. And there's value in both. And you just got to determine, who you are in that equation. Listen, most of us going to take that check because it's easier. It is a lot harder to build and to have to freaking pay people and to sit there and deal with personalities. Just give me that check. Let me show up to work, do my job, and go home. Let me tell you, it is a lot easier.